Welcome to a video where I showcase 5 things that you may or may not know. Some of these facts may be in plain sight to some, but for others, this may be the very first time that you hear about them. Let's get started. Starting off in Garden Warfare 1, thanks to a discovery by CNU. Did you know that there's a little trick you can do with the soldier's ZPG in order to achieve much higher weapon accuracy temporarily? By using the ZPG ability and holding both the aim and fire buttons at the same time before the rocket fires for until your clip runs out, your weapon will be substantially more accurate than before. The timing is a bit precise, but you should get the hang of it eventually with enough practice. This is especially apparent with General Supremo, since not only can he fire for a long period of time in Garden Warfare 1, but his accuracy is also known to be rather poor in that game, so having the ability to have near perfect accuracy, if only for a few seconds, could have a substantial impact for him. This does not work with semi-automatic variants such as Centurion, Tank Commander, or Camo Ranger, and only on variants with a fully automatic weapon. Secondly, did you also know that certain abilities from Garden Warfare 1 ended up being changed in multiple ways when transitioning over to Garden Warfare 2? Multiple abilities were affected by this change, but 3 of the most notable examples would be Rocket Jump, and both Standard and Retro Gatling. In Garden Warfare 1, as shown here, Rocket Jump could comfortably reach the top roof of the giant red building on the second point of Walnut Hills. But now, in Garden Warfare 2, Rocket Jump can only barely make it onto one of the side roofs and not the topmost roof without assistance. In Garden Warfare 1, both P-Gatling and Retro Gatling hit 2 less damage per bullet at all distances than compared to what they do now. Additionally, the abilities also grant more armor in Garden Warfare 2 than Garden Warfare 1. Why PopCap felt the need to change the abilities in this way isn't exactly clear, since even if it was for the sake of balance, that would not make sense in Rocket Jump's case, since Rocket Leap was left exactly the same across both versions of the game. Up next, did you know the Toxic Aura has a strange interaction with one of the zombie bot spawnables in the game? Normally, the Toxic Aura is supposed to deal up to 3 damage every second, depending on the distance the player is to the victim, and this is true in most cases, except for the Dr. Heals bot, where for some reason, it seems to trigger the Toxic Aura 4 times as quickly in comparison to its usual tick rate. This applies to all toxic plants that have an aura, and is rather strange and fascinating that this only applies to the Dr. Heals bot. Why this is happening? According to the Frostbite modding server, it seems the most likely cause is due to a fault within the Toxic Aura's coding that causes it to deal a lot more damage to the Dr. Heals bot than every other object in the game. Another point in the book for PopCap's 10 out of 10 programming skills. Did you also know turning on the infinite ammo crazy setting in private play causes some bots and bots to act batshit insane? Whilst most function exactly like they usually do, there are a handful that gain immense power from this crazy setting that you can try with your friends for some crazy bullshit. The Scaredy Shroom and Hide and Shoot bots essentially act like rapid fire turrets and deal insane amounts of damage. Even the Barbecue Tree Man is unable to comprehend how much power these things have within the realm of private play. The Doom Shroom and Explodey bot also function differently, though not on the same scale as the aforementioned Scaredy Shroom and Hide and Shoot bot. Both of these spawnables still explode faster than they usually do. The last spawnable to be affected, from my current observation, would be the Loudmouth bot, which rapidly attacks any enemy that approaches it, screaming constantly that you have violated its property by existing near it. These may have little practical use, but are fun to mess around with friends in a private play session. Lastly, heading over to BFN. Did you know there is a change between the standard version of the game and the Switch release that involves the Imp Z-Mech? Normally, when using Missile Madness, the Z-Mech is able to sprint just fine during the ability, and everything seems to work as usual. Though if one was to play on the Switch version, for some reason, the Z-Mech is not able to sprint and use Missile Madness simultaneously, since using the ability on the Switch version will force the mech to stop sprinting and just walk instead. Yet again, another strange change for the Switch version of BFN, in a long list of strange changes that we'll never figure out exactly why at all.